21 people have been shot in Baltimore. At least 2 died and others remain in critical condition. WMAR 2 News' Abby Isaac joins us from police headquarters after speaking with community activists about the path forward. Following the violent weekend, one community activist told me, instead of pointing fingers, people should be extending their hands and trying to help people who are struggling.
It's so sad to understand that people aren't placing value over life.
After 21 people were shot in Baltimore this weekend, nonprofit director Nicole Mosby Taylor says she's outraged, but not discouraged.
It gives me that drive to go harder.
Many of the weekend's shootings involved multiple victims, with ages ranging from 15 to 60. Friday night, 5 people were shot on North Avenue. A 36-year-old man died. 4 people were also shot near the Pennsylvania Avenue Market. 1 died. Mayor Brandon Scott says this violence is not about police deployment. In multiple instances, officers were on foot in the area and people still carried out these shootings.
When we catch these folks, and we will, we have to make sure that there are real consequences and real rehabilitation for people, because this is not always about what the police are or are not doing. When people are shooting people in front of the police or with the police or on their block, it's clearly something much deeper than that.
Taylor says this underscores what the focus should be on: mental health.
People want to point the finger. This person, this leader is not doing their job. This person's not doing their job. I don't think it has anything to do with that. Like, we have to get to the root cause of why the person, because babies are not born with a gun in their hand.
Her nonprofit, Empowering Minds of Maryland's Youth, works to give kids the tools to deal with anger, and she wants to see mental health checks being done on a larger scale.
Frederick Douglass said it best: it's easier to build strong children than to repair broken men. So if we get to our babies and we get them that mental health now, they understand how to deal with those anger, outbursts, and they understand their triggers.
On January 2nd, Baltimore Ceasefire is holding a citywide event called Reclaim Baltimore, where neighbors will sign up to hold sacred space rituals in places where people were killed this year. We have more information on our website, WMAR2news.com. In Baltimore, Abby Isaacs, WMAR2 News.
For Baltimore murders and shootings. And guys, it's crazy. Look. In the month of November, Baltimore City reported 28 homicides and 54 non-fatal shootings. So far in 2021, there have been 325 people murdered in the city and 687 non-fatal shootings. Those numbers compare to 318 and 693 respectively at this time last year, the report says. There ain't no respect in this. I mean, these demons out here just going crazy, right? In September 2020, news began tracking daily murders and shootings in the city, but this is for December 2021. 12:18, 9:30 p.m., a 24-year-old man was shot in the stomach in the 2000 block of West Pratt Street. 12:18, 9:11 p.m., 3 women ages 25, 31, and 60 were shot in the 500 block of Streeper Street. They were taken to the hospital where they were treated for their injuries. On 12:18, 7:24 p.m., a man was shot in the 1300 block of North Dallas Street. 12:18, 6:45 p.m., a 23-year-old male suffered from non-life-threatening gunshot wound at South Fulton Avenue at Cole Street. 12:17, 11:56 p.m. A 19-year-old was shot in his left forearm at the 2500 block of West Patasco Avenue. 12:17, 9:19 p.m. A 46-year-old man was shot in the arm and leg in the 400 block of South Mount Street. 12:17, 9:04 p.m. A 15-year-old male was suffering from a graze wound to the inner thigh at the 1300 block of West Saratoga Street. 12:17. Look, Baltimore must be big because so far none of these shootings, they may be in the same area, but just the names of the streets and locations, they aren't right now, but we'll see. 12:17, 12:57 p.m. 4 people were shot in the 600 block of Lawrence Street. One victim, whose identity is still unknown, died at the hospital. 2 other victims, ages 50 and 18, suffered non-life-threatening injuries, and the 4th victim, a 50-year-old, remains in the hospital and is in critical condition. It doesn't identify the gender or male or female. 12:17, 12 p.m. 3 men ages 19, 32, and 44 were shot somewhere in the 1800 block of Castle Street. 12:17, 5:43 a.m. A 35-year-old man was shot in the arm at the intersection of Edmondson Avenue and Franklin Town Road. 12:16, 7:29 p.m. A 15-year-old boy was shot in the leg while walking to the store to the 800 block of East 41st Street. The suspects reportedly pulled up in a gold Kia and began asking the victim questions before shooting him. 12:16, 7:26 p.m. A 20-year-old man was driving in the 4800 block of Parkside Avenue when he realized he had been shot. Wow. And sometimes it takes people a moment to realize they've been shot. I remember when my sister got shot, and she wasn't really a heavy drinker, but thank God she was drinking that night that she did get shot because it saved her life. But sometimes when you're buzzing a little bit or in the heat of the moment, and for some people, it takes a minute for that bullet to penetrate inside of them, I guess. But a lot of people don't realize immediately that they've been shot. And for my sister, she walked damn near a half a block to the pizza shop before she realized her stomach was bleeding and the bullet went out of her stomach and into her arm. And that's a whole nother story, y'all. If you want to hear it, let me know down in the comments, okay? Anyway, and I can probably try to get her to do a, voiceover phone call or something to tell you her side of the story. So we have here 12:16, 3:34 p.m. Jawan Robertson, 17, was shot in the 500 block of Dennison Street. He later died from his injuries. R.I.P. to him and his family and to everybody, right? 12:16, 3:09 a.m. A 27-year-old man was found unresponsive, suffering from gunshot wounds in the 600 block of Lucia Avenue, y'all. The victim was pronounced dead at the scene, and this is Justin Johnson, the 27-year-old man who got shot the same day our next victim on 12/16, 1:35 a.m. A Baltimore police officer was shot while in the 4400 block of Pennington Avenue. The police officer suffered life-threatening injuries and is on life support. And I'm going to do a whole nother Beyond the Bullet with her, okay? Prayers for her and her family and everyone involved. And I'll go ahead and do this last one for the taking. Alright, so you've been watching Beyond the Bullet, and in this edition, episode 7, we heard a lot of things going on down in Baltimore. And what I'm going to do, guys, is come back and just address some of the things the activists were saying in my very next video. Officer Kiana Holly and Justin Johnson. But beyond the bullet, we learned in this episode that over the weekend there was a lot of shootings, upwards of 21, the news reporter said. So with that being said, 12:16, 12:42 a.m., a 22-year-old man was shot in the 1300 block of Glendon Avenue. The victim is conscious and alert, and thank God for that. And we're going to end it because my next video after this one is going to specifically focus on Officer Kiana Holly and Justin Johnson, because there's something going on down there in Baltimore with those two cases, and we want to pray and send our condolences out to the family, lift them up in spirit, because she still has an opportunity to beat this, okay? She's still with us, thank God. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get back into the video so I can break down what we just heard in the audio prior to this, okay? How do you guys feel about